let's start this out with overall. How did you like the movie?
Overall, it was actually fun. I will say that. Just like I said, before I watched the movie, I did not like it. I was like, man, this should just go straight to freaking streaming. Um, I did not think I was going to even enjoy it at all. I actually laughed a few times. I legitimately laughed. I was like, wow, this is just, it's a fun movie. It's funny. It has good action. The story is decent. Um, Special effects could be a little better, but I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, overall, I think it was a fun movie. It surprised me in that aspect. I didn't think I was going to have as much fun with it as I did.
I thought the movie is exactly what I expected. Fun, funny, popcorn movie. Wasn't going to set the world on fire, but you were glad you watched it. And I think the movie
Yes,
did that in spades. I think the trailer translated perfectly well to the movie. And even the serious parts that were in the movie um, wasn't drawn out, wasn't overdone, wasn't didn't slow down the film. It felt like it was in there for the right amount of time, gave the right amount of drama, and kept going. And and this is in the trailer. Even the dance scene wasn't overdone.
I was so worried about that. I was so worried. Like when I watched that trailer, I was like, "Oh, there's a dance scene in this movie. It's definitely gonna be horrible." That actually wasn't that bad. I actually
Yeah,
kind of
it
enjoyed it.
wasn't because it was short.
Yeah, it was, and that's the thing too. When I this is not spoiler, but when I saw the scene, I was like, man, please don't let this go on for like the entire movie or like for a big portion of the movie because if it does, I'm gonna be super cringed. And it wasn't. It was done tastefully. So I
Yes.
definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Favorite character out of the Marvels. Which Marvel is your favorite Marvel?
It's still Miss Marvel for me.
Still Miss
She
Marvel?
seems the most human, the most real. Like she's a kid, and they don't hide the fact that she's a kid, and she's a fangirl. They don't hide the fact that she's a fangirl. I think they write her so well. She's my favorite in that movie. And the second one is Monica Rambeau, who's also known as Photon, who was the original Captain Marvel, believe it or not. Uh,
Yeah.
she was also known as Pulsar. She's also known as Spectrum in the comics. She was number two.
I would have to agree literally in the same exact order. I would have to say Miss Marvel, hands down, my favorite character. I loved her in the Miss Marvel show. They do write her well, and I just think Iman, I think that's her name. Iman plays Kamala Khan just perfectly. Freaking love it.
Yeah.
And I might be a little biased because she's from Jersey City, so it's nice to have a Jersey superhero in a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Um, that's freaking awesome. Yeah, she just I just love her character. She's fun, she's funny. She just adds like that nice comedic flair to the movie, but then she also adds that like when times get serious, you feel her emotion. She wears her heart on her sleeve, you know.
Yes.
So I definitely love that about that character. And
And I
Monica
love her
Rambeau,
family and her relationship with her family.
yeah, same here. Like the whole dynamic with her family, was just fun. Like if you guys have not watched Miss Marvel, and that's my early recommendation here. If you haven't watched Miss Marvel, go watch it. Like it might not seem like it's a good watch. I thought that. I was thinking it was just going to be some kiddie like superhero show that I'm just not going to be into. It's fun. It's a
It is.
fun it's a fun show. I love the whole artistic thing that they bring to the show too. Like you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. But yeah, it's good. So and Monica Rambeau, I thought her character was actually pretty cool too.
It was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I just loved her character too. It was great. Brie Larson is Brie Larson, Captain
But you know
Marvel.
what? Here's the thing. Okay, I do think her performance in this movie was better than her standalone movie. I do think her performance in this movie was better than it was in Endgame. I think that maybe all the criticism she got um, really got to her and made her up her game because her performance was much better, you
Yeah.
know. And she didn't. overpower or underpower any of the characters she was in the scenes with. Like, she matched that energy, you know? And
Mm.
even when she was in scenes by herself, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't overacted or too serious or too, anything. I just felt like they humanized her. They wrote her in such a way where they humanized her really well.
100%. 100% agree. I will admit that. I'm not just gonna like step all over her character. I did notice that they allowed her to be a little bit more sensitive or
Human.
brought her down to earth a little bit. Yeah, like they allowed her to be a little bit more human. So I did notice that. I just think by that point I was still feeling the effects of all the previous stuff that she did. So and there's some stuff I want to talk about as spoilers in regards to her and
See,
some
my thing
guy.
is when I think of Brie Larson, I still think of her when she was in Scott Pilgrim.
I don't think of her with that. I actually keep forgetting that she was in Scott Pilgrim. Every time I go back and watch that movie, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Miss, Captain Marvel was in this movie. I don't know why. I don't associate
Captain
her with
Marvel and
that.
Superman.
Captain Marvel and Superman and
They were in a band together.
yeah, she's Louise. And what's the name? What's his name? Captain America.
That's right. And Captain America was in that.
The whole freaking MCU was in Scott Pilgrim. That's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
um. So yeah. What did you think of the villain in this movie?
Um, it felt like a watered down Ronan the Accuser.
I 100% agree. That's what I was thinking about the entire time.
Um, her performance was passable. Her performance was good. I just felt like there were moments where she was over the top.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
agree.
what really brought down my opinion of her performance, you know? Um, and supposedly the hammer she used in the movie is the same as Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah, I think it was his hammer, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think it was his hammer.
And the
Um,
actress who played that part, she is actually the actor who plays Loki.
the actress who plays Loki.
Yeah, it's his
Oh,
wife. The
in the
villain
show.
from the Marvels, right? In real
Yeah.
life, that's the actor Loki's wife.
Okay. I don't know why I got so confused with that. Interesting. Did not know that actually.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Zawe Ashton.
That's her name.
Yeah, the villain.
How come I don't see her on the front page? Jeez, they don't even have her on the front page. Goodness gracious. Oh, okay, never mind. She is on the front page. I see it. Um, yeah, I wasn't crazy about her as a villain. Honestly, I thought, like I said, she was just mediocre. Um, I thought she looked a little weird, but then again, I know like her
Tom
kind
Hiddleston.
looks.
That's her husband. Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. Yes, dude, I really can't wait till you watch Loki. I got some thoughts on that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say that like 10 more times in this episode.
That's okay.
Um,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You were saying about her?
um, no, I just thought her character was okay. Honestly, I wasn't too crazy about it. I thought she. I mean, I get the aesthetic. I get how they look, but her in particular, for a villain to have somebody who gets all that screen time, I just thought she looked a little weird. It just didn't really
The outfit,
some
right?
yeah, like it just
I don't know if it's
didn't
the I don't
gel.
know if it was the outfit or the hair or the makeup. Like, she didn't look she to me, she looked a little washed out. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's just there was something weird about it. Like she looks more like a side character instead of like, hey, let's put this person in front of the camera. And I'm not saying that she's got to be like glorious and all that, but there was just something that was weird. I can't put my finger on it, but there was
I
something
agree.
that was just weird about everything, like the outfit and makeup and all that. It was just kind of odd. Side note,
It's
Dark Legion in chat says, I can't wait to watch the animated version of Scott Pilgrim. Yes. Did you hear
Oh, they're
about
making
that?
an animated version?
There's an animated version of Scott Pilgrim, and all the voice actors are coming back to voice it.
Oh, so we gotta watch it.
Yes, we gotta watch it. We're definitely gonna review that. I gotta figure out when that
We're gonna
drops.
do a season review, or do you wanna do a first episode review? I'd
Legion,
rather do a season review.
Legion, find out for me. Is it like an episodic thing, or is this like a movie? Let me know, because if it is an episodic thing, then yeah, we'll do like a season review of it because we love that freaking movie, man.
Yeah.
We love that movie. Um, but yeah, getting back on that. So yeah, I wasn't crazy about her. Nick Fury made a return.
And he was funny.
He was actually funny. He had his moments. He had his moments.
But such a different Nick Fury than in Secret Invasion.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This Nick Fury in this one was a little bit more just like on vacation mode. Like I'm on vacation, I'm in space, I'm chilling. I'm not really worried about trying to do too much, but I'm here if you guys need me. Type Nick Fury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Other than that, like I said, I thought it was a fun movie. Not the best, obviously, but it was a good popcorn flick. Definitely a good popcorn flick.
Yes.
Do you want to give your chocolate bunny score now or after the spoilers?
Let's do it after the spoilers.
All right, cool.
So
So,
there's two non-spoiler things I did want to talk about.
okay.
The the trailer didn't give enough justice to the fight sequences
I agree. I
because the
agree.
fight sequences are so much better than you think they are.
Yeah, they actually were a lot better. They were a lot better.
Yes. And Monica Rambeau,
Yeah,
um, you know, Pulsar, Photon, Pulsar, whatever you want to call her, but if you want to call her by superhero name.
yeah.
Um, the one thing that I thought was a little, I can't say that, then that's spoiler. Um, her powers look cool. Um,
Yeah, I do like that.
yeah. So it was a good movie. It was a
Okay,
good movie.
okay. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Spoiler time, because I can't hold it in anymore.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Legion, but this is the spoiler time. You got a few seconds head start. But yeah, this is where it happens. And any of our audio listeners or video watchers, this is where we talk about stuff that you might not want to know if you haven't watched it yet. So, spoiler time. I'm going to start it off because I got a lot to talk about. Um, I do love the dance sequence when Captain Marvel goes on that weird planet and we find out that she's married to some guy, Prince Yan, which was I thought that was there was something that was just fun about that scene where she like went on the planet, she changed her outfit and she started dancing and singing, and then she's like, all right, stop singing. I got some serious to talk about. Like just that whole just interaction, that sequence was fun. I liked it. You know what
Yes.
I mean? I actually kind of wish we got a look. I thought we were going to get more of that. I thought we were going to get more from the prince and just that interaction between them both. I actually was looking forward to that, but I thought that
I
that ended quickly.
I wasn't. I think it was the perfect amount. The other things I liked about the scene was Monica Rambeau was double fisting it. She had 2 drinks.
Oh, yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah,
catch
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah, I did catch
Um,
that. I did
and
catch
then,
that.
Camilla Khan was just like, "Hey." She was
Yeah, I
dancing into it.
know. I love when Kamala Khan just, like, witnesses, like, an awkward moment. She's like, "What's happening right now?" Like, what's like, we got a lot of that throughout, like, the, movie, and I just thought it was, like, a nice touch where she was just, like, awkward and, it just, like, her reaction was just pretty cool. Um,
Twinsies.
yeah, yeah.
That's so funny.
Jeez Louise, man. Um it's let me see, what other spoiler do we want to talk about here? I mean,
Okay, here's the thing that I was scared of. The
okay.
dance scene in the trailer, I didn't know if it was that she switched places with Miss Marvel and they were, like, at a wedding or, like, at some kind of party. I was really hoping it wasn't that, and I'm so happy that it really wasn't that.
My idea of the dance scene before I watched the movie, I thought it was going to be like some Bollywood kind of thing.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. I figured they were going to end up somewhere and just I don't know why Bollywood, but I mean because of Kamala Khan, I figured that that's what was going to happen. So I was like, oh, I hope this is not like some cheesy, corny thing where everybody's singing and dancing and whatever. But that's what I thought was going to happen. So I'm glad it
Yeah.
wasn't that. And I'm glad that, like you said, that dance scene had enough time. It wasn't over the board. It wasn't overboard, even though I wanted a little bit more, just because I wanted to see that interaction with her and the prince. But it was good. It was all right.
I have one complaint about the dance scene.
Okay.
One, they went to Disney Princess when she magically had a dress on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that did feel pretty, Disney-esque, honestly. Like, I
Yeah,
got, like, freaking Beauty and the Beast vibes when that happened. Um, Maybe if she would've changed her outfit, like, just, like, had it fade into a new scene, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, we gotta do this ceremony real quick, guys. Come with me." Maybe it wouldn't
yeah,
feel that bad,
yeah.
But,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, the other things that were right after that scene is when they get their new costumes. I thought Miss Marvel had a terrible costume.
I have to look
I
at it again. I
hated her
forgot.
costume.
I
But
don't
what I
remember.
did like is Monica Rambeau in the comic books originally. Remember how she started out with those weird wings underneath her suit?
Oh, yeah,
She
yeah,
was
yeah.
complaining about them. That's her. That's how she was originally portrayed in the comics. So
Oh,
I'm
okay,
glad they
okay.
did mention of that. Then they got rid of them.
Good touch. That was actually a pretty good touch,
That
I
was a
like.
really really nice touch.
Oh, yeah,
And
I see I see where you're going.
their suits were as close to comic book accurate as you could get. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kamala Khan's outfit. I see what you're talking about. I just think it was it popped a little too much. It was too
Too many
poppy.
colors.
Yes, best way to describe it. Too many colors. It was
Too many
just too
colors.
out there. And, like, the other ones were a little, like, they were just kinda there,
No, but they
it
were
wasn't
comic
too
book
wow.
accurate. They were
Yeah,
comic book accurate. So they were perfect because they were comic book accurate.
yeah,
If you look up Monica Rambeau, right? Or Photon or Pulsar or Spectrum, if you look her up and you Google her now, you're gonna see that's her outfit. Like it's
yeah, yeah.
comic book accurate. I was so happy.
Yeah, I've seen that outfit before in the comics, and that was a nice touch. That was a very nice
Yes.
touch. So,
All right, so
um,
let's start at the beginning of the film. Um, what was the thing in the it starts out with her finding the bracelet. Do you remember
yeah,
that?
yeah,
And then from there it goes into them, you seeing a little bit of their lives. I just thought it was really stupid. They're like, "Oh, look at this thing. I'm gonna touch it.
yeah.
Do you want to lose an arm?"
I I don't know. That opening sequence was a little awkward. Like, even me and Val were looking at this, like, looking at that scene, like, okay, what's happening? What is this thing that they're touching? Why are they messing with it? And I was like, I don't know. It's just kind of like the opening, which is weird. It's just like, hey, we're just gonna watch these. Like, we're gonna introduce you to this character, and they're touching a rock. Go, press play. I'm just like, okay, weird way to start the movie.
Yeah,
It was just a little. I don't know. I didn't like that entrance. To the
yeah.
movie. It's a little awkward. So,
But
um,
I do like how what do you call it? How once you skip the bad guy's introduction, the movie just picks up right away and it moves so fluidly. Like I
yeah,
don't think there was a boring part in the film other than the intro.
yeah. The intro was a little weird, man. It was a little weird. I
But
mean, yeah, it was entertaining. Like you said. I mean, well, like I said. I mean, I was expecting it to just be a little dry, a little boring. Maybe some over the top acting. But the interaction between them three, especially when they first got on the spaceship together, and they were just reminiscing about Rambo's mom and just like introducing each other to each other, and when they have that moment when they had the little head things on, and I
yeah,
thought that was cool when they were looking into Monica, no, Captain Marvel's memories. I thought that was cool. So like their interaction in general was actually it wasn't bad. It was nice to see. It was nice to just witness their interaction with each other. And then when it was moments where they separated or they started fights and so on and so forth, I was like, oh man, okay, they're separating now. And then when they got back together, I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next? I was excited to just see them interact with each other. Honestly, my name in chat says her screaming was annoying after a while. I'm guessing you're talking about Kamala Khan.
yeah.
Yeah, her screaming. I think there was a few scenes early in the movie where she was just like obnoxiously screaming. It was a
You know
little
what?
annoying. It
I
was a little
didn't
annoying.
notice it.
You didn't notice it?
I mean, I
Yeah,
noticed it in a couple of places here or there, but I guess I was so into the action that didn't I didn't pick it up.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
yo, Miss Marvel can fight now,
Yeah. She actually learned some skills. She learned some skills. So definitely big ups to her for that one. Big ups.
and they work
Um
well as a team.
yeah, they do. I think the whole thing that they were doing with them using their powers and disappearing and using their powers and disappearing, them adding that as like a fighting mechanism, was actually pretty freaking cool. I did
Yeah.
like that. That was very
The
different.
the other thing I loved was they did a callback to Captain Marvel. Did you notice it?
What was the callback?
In the first Captain Marvel, they're always telling her, "Oh, you'd look nicer if you smiled," and she always hated that. And then when they played the Beastie Boys song, the first line was, "Don't ask me to smile."
Oh,
That was a
that's actually kind
really
of
good callback.
that was actually kind of funny. That was actually kind of funny.
I bet most people probably didn't pick that up though.
I did not pick that up actually. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Um, so let me see. Are there any other story points that we want to talk about as far as spoilers before we jump into the big kahuna at the end?
Um. Yes. We there is what do you want to talk about the post credit scenes? Is the big Kahuna you're talking about?
Yes.
Um. Honestly, I did like the fact that I hated the fact that they ruined poor Miss Marvel's house. You know, and
Oh yeah.
she left Jersey City to live in like Alabama or something, wherever the other house was.
Oh, Monica Rambeau's mom's house.
Yeah,
Yeah. So was she living there? I thought Captain Marvel was living there. I thought they were just helping Captain Marvel move in, or were they not?
I th- I, I took it as they were moving in there. Maybe I'm wrong
Yeah, I
because
think
wasn't the mother complaining, "Hey, don't touch this," blah 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 blah.
I don't
Or maybe
remember.
maybe I just didn't
Yeah,
pick it
I, I
up
I
right.
think I think they were moving Captain Marvel in. That's what I believe because now that Monica's gone, quote unquote, somebody got to take care of the house. Because I think Monica was taking care of the house after her mom passed away, quote unquote. So
I might have to rewatch that.
yeah, might have to rewatch that once it comes to Disney Plus. Um,
So before we get to the ending, I have a couple questions for you. Question
okay,
one: would you like to see them team up again?
yes,
Okay.
100%. I love their interaction. Like I said, it was better than I expected. I think they feed off each other well, and I just think Miss Marvel balances the both of them because
Yes.
they have so much tension between each other because of the fact that Miss Marvel left Monica for so many years, especially after the blip. There was just so much tension, and Miss Marvel was like that rubber band that just brought them together. As corny as it
Yes.
sounds, so I love the fact that she equalizes out the whole team. So yeah, I would love to see them back together again, whether it's a TV show, whether it's a movie. I know we're going to see them again, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Um. Here's the other question: what it were you surprised that Valkyrie showed up in the movie?
Yes, um, part of me thought it was a little random, but it's the MCU. At any given time, any movie, any TV show, any of these characters could run into a random character from any of the films that we saw them in, basically. So, I mean, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, there's Valkyrie. I did get like I don't want to say I got spoiled, but I got semi spoiled that there was a character that surfaced in the movie that we saw before. Luckily, I didn't get spoiled on who that was, but I did know that there was a character that was going to show up. I just didn't know who it was. So
Ooh.
after I saw her, Valkyrie.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah. There was like spoilers going around online saying that there's a character showing up in the Marvels that we've seen before in other Marvel movies. And luckily, I didn't get spoiled who it was until I saw it. But once I saw her, I was like, "Oh, I guess this is the character everybody was talking about." So, I mean, it was nice to see her. Didn't really affect me too much, but it was nice to see her though, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So, um, after,
All
well,
right.
if you're
One other thing, and then we can go to that because
okay,
this leads into that. After all the action's done, and you know, I guess the after effects of everything they did happens. with them going to the house and everything else. Did you feel that the movie ended too sentimentally, or do you feel like the movie ended on the correct note? And then we can go into the cutscenes.
I think it ended on a good note, honestly. I don't want to say it was too sentimental. I think with everything that happened in Captain Marvel, everything that happened in this movie cultivated at the right point. I don't think it was too sentimental. I think it was appropriate for what happened, honestly.
Okay. Oh, one other thing. Sorry. The use of the song "Memories" when all the Flurkins were eating up all the staff on the space
Oh
station.
yeah.
Did you think they did it too horror movie, or do you think it was perfect?
I feel like James Gunn walked on set and said, "Let me throw a scene in this movie for you real quick." That scene where they were and for anybody who doesn't know, if you didn't watch the movie, you wouldn't be here for the
It's okay.
spoilers
We're in the
anyway.
spoiler section.
The cats, the alien cats eat the people so that way they can get them on a spaceship because it's obviously safe space. I felt like that was something that James Gunn would have done in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That felt like a James Gunn moment. That felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy moment when that was happening. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it just, and I thought it was fun. Like I said, this movie was fun. It didn't take itself too serious. It had its serious moments, but it didn't take itself too serious. It borderline almost felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Okay.
Borderline. I'm not going to say that it was because Guardians of the Galaxy is freaking amazing, top notch chef kiss. But it almost felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I felt like James Gunn came on set and said, "Hey, let me throw this scene in here real quick." That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Um, Side note: if anybody's watching live right now, don't forget, guys, hit that like button. It definitely pushes us up in the algorithm, and yeah, we will love you guys forever if you do that. Don't forget to hit the like button. So at the end of the movie, jumping into the end credit scene, we see that Monica Rambeau tries to wait. Side note: before I even talk about that, how did you feel about the death? The way our villain died? Do you feel like it was an appropriate death for?
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
bit off more than you could chew. That's kind of how I felt.
Okay. All
I
right.
think it was appropriate. And the reason why Miss Marvel was able to survive it is because she's a mutant. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, I thought it was nice how Darbin, when it looks like she was going to give up and like turn over to the good side and listen to Miss Marvel and said, "All right, fine, I'll give up the band." I like how she just like said, "Nope, psych them. I'm not going to give you the band. I'm just going to go ahead and try
Yes.
to." I thought that was pretty cool. I definitely like that because I kind of get tired of the whole thing of like, oh, the bad guy turns over a new leaf. Now they're a good guy and they were going to work together. That gets a little tired after a while.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad that she decided not to do that. So end credit scene, and I'm gonna go on record by saying, in my opinion, this is one of the best end credit scenes that we've had in a very long time.
I agree. I absolutely
Very
agree.
long time. Um,
So there's also stories about why Monica Rambeau's mother is the character that she plays.
okay.
There's just in the comics there's a story behind it, but when we get to that part, I'll explain it. But for right now, you go ahead.
um, so basically, we get to a point where Monica Rambeau goes into the portal that she tries to close. She feels like she has to close it from the other side for whatever reason. She gets stuck on the other side of the portal that she tries to close. She wakes up in a hospital. She hears her mom's voice. She says, "Mommy, I miss you. I love you. How you been?" Mom doesn't recognize her because it's mom from a different planet. She doesn't know who she is. Mom says, "Hey, doctor, something's wrong with her. She's disoriented. Something's going on." And you hear a nice, strong, manly voice in the background that says, "Don't worry, we'll take care of it." I'm summarizing. We'll figure it out. And then camera turns and see this beautiful, beastly blue man in fur in a lab coat, just like we saw in like X-Men '97. It's
Voiced
Beast,
by Kelsey Grammer.
voiced by Kelsey Grammer, which I love so much. Man has an amazing voice. Um, Beast shows up. And in my movie theater, when I was watching this, the crowd erupted, literally erupted. So did I. I felt like a little kid. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! It's the X Men. They're back." Um,
The
So
first hint that the X-Men are first on-screen hint that the X-Men are coming to Marvel.
yes, the first on-screen hint that we got since the merger, by the way.
Yeah,
Because all the other stuff that we got was Easter eggs and man with claws kills somebody in a bar. Kamala Khan says the word mutant, just little things. But this is
yeah.
the first, like, just in the flesh example of like, hey, we hear you guys. It's time for the X-Men. It's gonna happen. And then we get a wide shot of Monica's mom dressed up as
Pulsar,
Pulsar. Some people said
Pulsar.
I don't know why somebody said another name. What's the other name that somebody else said? Can't think of it
Um,
right now.
yeah,
Um,
because there's two characters that look alike.
Pulsar, and what's the other one? Damn, I can't think of it. Never mind. But yeah, so Pulsar, we got a wide shot of her, and
Oh,
then you
so
also
me
see
binary. Pulsar's the other one.
binary. Yes,
Binary.
binary.
Pulsar's the other one. This one's binary. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I meant to say. Yeah, binary. And then in the background, we have a nice shot of the X-Men doors. So obviously they're under the school in a little X-Men cave. Fade to black, and then I lose my mind, and I watched 20,000 videos on YouTube about that end credit scene, and that's where we are right now.
Yes.
Um,
Now, do you know
Thoughts?
why she's binary?
Why is she binary? Besides the simple
Because
fact of
she made it to the
being
plane first in that universe.
because she made it to the plane first?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
She becomes binary. Not yeah, binary. Is it binary?
Yeah,
Damn, I forgot
binary.
her name. Binary in this other universe. And the only other chance we got a hint of it was in Doctor Strange, Mom, Multiverse of Madness. Remember where she showed up as Captain Marvel?
Not Doctor Strange's actual mom, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Multiverse of Madness, Mom.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. It was funny.
So it's the second time she shows up as a superhero, Maria
Yeah,
Rambeau.
yeah.
So although I did not like her makeup, like that's another character I felt like seemed very washed
Yeah,
out.
it was very weird, but you know
It was
what?
very washed out.
Haven't you noticed that Marvel always does that when they introduce us to new characters, and then it gets better later? Like when we first saw Thanos, like, in the early MCU days, he looks like a purple crayon.
But look at Monica Rambeau. She looked fabulous each and every time she appeared on screen, even in Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just something with the end credit scenes. I feel like they just
No, I just think that they didn't take enough care
yeah,
because maybe they didn't know if the actress was willing to sign a contract or what have you. You know, could be a multitude of reasons that we're just not aware of.
yeah.
I just like in the in Doctor Strange, I thought she looked great. In
Mhm.
this movie, I just think they didn't do justice to her makeup.
Yeah, that's a constant issue that we've been having with Marvel for a long time now is special effects, makeup. It's just I don't know what's going on over there, man. Maybe it's just too many movies, too many shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this movie, I definitely did see a lot of the mishaps as far as the special effects or makeup with certain characters and certain scenes. There were even certain scenes where the background just looked like even the scene that we're talking about in the end credit scene. It looked like she was standing in front of a green screen. 100%. I was just like, why was the shot? And this is like probably the videographer in me. Why was that shot so wide? It just looked completely fake. You know what I mean? It
I
didn't look real.
I think they were imitating the Fox look.
Yeah, it didn't come off right for me. It didn't come off.
I just took it as they were imitating the first X-Men movie, the look of that movie. To me, that's
Yeah,
all it seemed like. It didn't seem like anything more than that.
yeah,
Because if you rewatch that movie, you're gonna be like, "Ugh, that's not shot that well."
yeah. Exactly,
Because Brian
exactly.
Singer did a good job in a lot of things and did a bad job in others in
Yeah.
that movie. Okay, what about are we done with the first end credit scene?
Um. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, I mean, We just gotta see what's gonna happen. I mean, we're getting our introduction to X Men. My question is, when do you think we see the X Men again?
I think that eventually there will be a mutant saga. It might be after Secret Wars.
I agree. I agree. I don't think that, and it sucks to say because I felt this before I even saw that movie. Um, Avengers, Secret Wars, and King Dynasty is, it seems like it is, but it's not that far away unless things just start getting pushed back out of nowhere. Not that far away. We're supposed to get both of those movies, I believe, late 2024 or 2025. That's not enough time to push out mutant movies. Like, we're
No,
talking about 2 years. Like, and they already got a bunch of stuff they're working on now to finish this saga. So that does make sense that we're probably like we're going to get introduced to more mutants. I don't think we're going to get a Wolverine or anything, but we're going to get introduced to more mutants.
there's where I
That's-
disagree. I
Okay.
think we will see the new Wolverine in Secret Wars.
Okay. Maybe.
I think it's going to be kept completely under wraps. I think the trailer's just going to show the costume, and I think you're actually going to see the actor in Secret Wars. I think you're going to see Professor X, and I hope they reuse the actor from First Class. I forget his name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I love him as Professor X. I forgot his name too.
Yeah, IMDb. I choose you.
I Juju.
IMDb. Oh, and I should know his fucking name. Um, James McAvoy.
Yes, I love him as Professor X.
I
I
think
really
he
do.
should stay as Professor X. I think you're going to see Wolverine, and I think you're going to see Cyclops. I think past that, I don't think you're going to see any other mutants.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, I can see that being a possibility. But yeah, I definitely don't think we're gonna get, like you said, any big mutant like films or a mutant saga or whatever until after Infinity War. That makes sense for that to start after that because right now everything's focused on Kang. Everything's focused on, getting ready for this big war that we're gonna have with the Avengers. Um, and yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm a big X-Men fan. Can't wait. Can't
Yes.
wait.
Okay. Now on to the second end credit scene.
Oh yes, where Miss Marvel meets up with
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's
Because remember, she's
apprentice.
taken the name. She's taken the name Hawkeye. She's
Oh
Hawkeye.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. She's taking a name. So yeah, she meets up with Hawkeye and says, pretty much in terms of who said this first? I believe
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury said this first. I'm starting a team and we're gonna get ready for this war. I'm summarizing. Do you want to join my team?
Please.
and please.
You think you're
Um,
the only teenager with superpowers? I'm 22.
it's
You know
like
what I mean?
yeah, I'm not a kid. What are you talking about? I love that scene. I think those two, Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, are gonna have some crazy, interesting dynamics and some interactions with each other because they're both very sarcastic. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that dynamic. But yeah,
Okay,
this
here's
is
the
also.
thing.
Mhm.
We've been introduced to a huge chunk of the team already.
Yeah, let's break it down. Who we got?
Okay. Okay. In the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
Mhm.
The grandson of the super soldier, remember him, the
Oh,
young kid?
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's part of the Young Avengers. He's like a patriot.
Okay.
Then you have Ant-Man's daughter, which I
Yeah.
forget what her character's name is. You have Hulk's son, Scar. He's
Yes.
also been introduced. Then
Mhm.
you have Miss Marvel, you have Hawkeye. They've all been introduced.
Do you think
So
we'll get Miles or Peter?
I would love it to be Peter and Peter leading the team.
Okay.
Um, but I think it might be Miles.
It probably will be Miles. I think it'll be Miles.
But then again, that's a lot of negotiating with Sony.
But then again, that's probably not gonna be enough time to make a Miles movie because he's not even casted yet. And we're talking
Right.
about having him ready within 2 years.
The thing is, in the comic books, Captain America does have a son, and Captain America's son does eventually join a future version of the Avengers. But with Patriot there, he is the Captain America analog. So I don't think they will add another character like that.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe they'll do young Loki, kid Loki.
Okay.
Maybe he'll be the, because he was also introduced in the Loki series, and in the comic books, he's in the real world. So maybe they might do Kid Loki as the last Avenger because it would make sense.
I don't think
Then
they're
you have
gonna
an Asgardian, so you cover Thor. You have a
Mhm.
Captain America analog. You have a Hawkeye. You know, I
Okay,
I think it would be interesting. Those are my guesses for the Young Avenger team. What are yours?
okay. I'll first off start off by saying I don't think they're gonna do young Loki, and you'll find out after you watch season 2 of Loki. I told you I was gonna mention Loki like at least 5 more times because it's an amazing show.
Okay.
Um, I do think Loki will be there. Um, regular Loki. Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, some form of Captain
You think
America, like
Captain
it's
Marvel's going to be there
I think Captain Marvel's gonna be there.
in a Young
I don't
Avengers movie?
she'll I don't think she'll be like a young Avenger, but I think she'll be there for some specific reason. I just think she's gonna be there,
Okay.
honestly. Um, who else? Like you said, most of the ones you said, I agree with. Hawk's son, he'll be there. I feel like Hawk's son and maybe I don't know. Do you think She Hawk will be there? 'Cause I was thinking maybe She Hawk might be involved in some way, shape, or
I
form. Is that
think you're only
maybe?
going to see her in Secret Wars. She's
Yeah.
she's they've already said they're not doing a season 2 for her.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think they're going to save their money, save her for Secret Wars.
Okay.
The only
Ironheart.
other person who maybe might be on the show is Quake.
Okay. Why Quake?
Because she's young.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Because he's young.
Or Squirrel Girl. Oh, Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl. Good one. I didn't even think about that. Good one. I think Ironheart's gonna be in there because we need like
I
a
forgot about her.
we need an Iron Man replacement. So I think Ironheart's gonna be 100%. She's gonna be in there. And I mean, there's a reason why she was introduced in Black Panther.
I
So
forgot about her. You
yeah,
have you're 100% right.
I think she's supposed to be getting a show too, which I think got pushed back. I think that was supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed back. So we're not getting that till whenever we get it, or if we still get it at all.
Yeah,
Um,
because it was just a very bad introduction to that character.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think she kind of fell into the shadows, but then again, it wasn't really her movie. She was just there just to be introduced, and her
I
show
I
was
I
supposed to push her out.
I feel like they just jammed her into Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, if they would have put her in the movie and they didn't have all the scenes with her doing like fighting and doing all that, I would have been fine with it. If they would have just introduced her, like saying, "Hey, this is her. She knows tech. Oh, by the way, she has a bootleg suit, and maybe she used it once or twice." If they would have left it like that, I would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I think her suit after they fixed it or upgraded it, whatever you want to call it, looked horrible in that movie. I did not like the way it
Yes.
looked. It looked
Yes.
like a Power Ranger wannabe MCU suit or something. I don't know.
It looked like one of the bad guys that Zed would use.
Yeah, yes, it did.
It
Oh my
did.
goodness gracious, you're so right.
My
You're so
monster
right.
will grow.
Yeah, man. Oh, don't forget America Chavez. She might be
Oh,
in there.
yes.
She
Yes.
might
You're
be in there.
100% right. So yeah, there's a team right there.
Yeah, man. It's so many possibilities. Like obviously the Young Avengers squad is pretty big. I don't think they're gonna have all the characters because there's just not enough time to build up all these characters within the next two and a half
Dude,
years.
I want you to think about this, okay? They had time for every character in Endgame. The
Yeah,
writing staff is on point. I think they could do it.
but you gotta remember, like, Endgame took, like, 10 years to get there, and they're trying to do Young Avengers in, like, less than that. I don't know if it's
Okay, but
enough time.
this is what you're not thinking about. You can develop the characters in Secret Wars.
Maybe, but are they gonna
You
do
can
that again?
develop the characters in the TV series. So when they finally get to their movie, they're established. And
Yeah, that's
seriously,
true.
how much do you need to develop Hulk's son? Scar smash, done. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I say that is because I think because of everything that's going on with the pushbacks and like, the delays and the stuff that they announced, I don't see them using I don't see them using 80% of the Young Avengers from the comics. I see maybe, like, 50. They'll probably use about 50% of those characters. I don't see them using anything near, like, 80 to 90% of the characters that are actually in Young Avengers in the comics. I just don't see it because and not because Marvel can't do it. I know they did it before, but just because of the way Marvel is operating now with things getting delayed and people fans criticizing them about their special effects and them just like kind of running back on certain things. They even some I saw somewhere that Marvel is thinking about lowering the amount of content that they're pushing out. They're trying to take the Star Wars approach, where less is more. So I think that's one of the reasons why I feel like I don't think they're going to use as many characters because yeah, they could just throw in a character in the movie, but remember the movie's going to only be like 3 hours long at most, maybe three and a half. And the number one thing that fans criticized Marvel about was, hey, you're just throwing all these characters at us. We don't even know who these guys are. We don't care about them enough. You threw them in here and you want us to care. It's I don't know. I see them at the very most using 50, maybe 60% of the characters from the Young Avengers comics that might actually show up in the movie by the time it
I'll
happens.
listen. Traditionally, Avengers teams are made up of 6 characters,
Hmm.
right? We've had 7 introduced
Hmm.
in the
Okay.
MCU, not the comic books, the MCU. I can see them using 7 characters.
Okay.
You know,
Seven is probably a good number. Seven's a good
yeah,
number.
6 would be better, but 7 I could see them using.
Okay.
And again, we're only talking about characters introduced into the MCU: Ironheart, Scar, which is Hulk's son, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Patriot. I mean, he might be the one that gets axed. Um, who are the other ones we said?
Uh, geez, hold on. I gotta get back. America Chavez.
Yeah.
You said Kid Loki, but
All
with
right. You
something
said if that's not a possibility, I'm not even going to argue that. Okay, no Kid Loki, but there's 5 right there, and if you add, Patriot, that's 6. There's your Avengers team,
that's
all
true.
introduced in the MCU.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see with all these actors that they have on, and I'll some of the one point that I want to make is that some of the actors that they did bring on as the Young Avengers, some of their acting is okay. I think Kamala Khan is probably holds the reins out of all the young
Yes.
actors so far. But some of the actors so far, their acting is just okay. Like a lot of them don't make me really care about them the way I cared about Iron Man, Thor, and the rest of the guys that came up with the OG squad. Um, the acting just hasn't been there for me. So I'm wondering what's going to be the hook, line, and sinker that pulls me to care about this cast of young Avengers that they bring on. What's going to hook me? Is it going to be the baddie? Is it going to be Kang, which I'm pretty sure he's probably is going to carry it, because it is his war, that he's going to be a part of. But I'm just wondering what's going to hook me to care about these guys. You know what I mean?
And that's the magic of movies. Oh, by the way, I forgot 2 characters.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch's children.
Oh yes, I forgot about them. Good point.
Those are 2 other possibilities they could replace somebody, but they
Mm,
might be too young.
yeah.
Um, what the hook could be is nothing more than them rescuing the Avengers,
Yeah. True. True.
or them getting revenge on somebody.
Yeah.
It
I could
doesn't
see
have
that.
to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, but I cannot wait to see the Young Avengers movie.
Side note, speaking of delays, and I'm just reading through Marvel stuff right now, and Marvel's going through some major trouble right now. I forgot to mention that they did say that the Marvels is Marvel Studios' worst opening weekend ever. Like, out of all the movies they ever released, as far as Marvel Studios is concerned, this is the lowest opening that they've ever had
Really?
from the Marvels. Yeah.
Even the Eternals beat them?
I forgot where I saw it. If I can find it again, I'll let you know. But yeah, Marvel's the Marvels in accordance to, like, I guess, finances was a flop, major flop.
See, flop for Marvel means successful movie to every other studio.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. Any other studio would make that kind of money. I gotta see if I can find it. I gotta see if I can find it now because now I'm curious.
I think that's all the hate that Brie Larson has gotten.
Probably
You know,
yes.
I don't care about the actors in their personal life.
So here we go. So CNBC, The Marvels has the worst opening weekend ever for any MCU film at 47 million.
Wow, that really isn't a lot for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's not. That's chump change for a Marvel movie.
But here's the
'Cause you
question: you, who came in as a doubter that the movie was going to be worth anything, and you saw it was really good, do you think that number may go up?
I think it'll only go up via word of mouth because I mean, it's a Marvel movie. We don't get a lot of Marvel movies like we used to.
Yeah.
So if a Marvel movie comes out, you would think people would say, "Oh wait, a Marvel movie's out. Let's go see it." Like like I'm excited. We don't get a lot of these. We get TV shows, but we don't get movies. So I feel like if they didn't see it within like the first weekend or two, maybe even 3, it's not gonna go up. Because at this point, it's either because A, people who used to be fans of the Marvel movies are getting superhero fatigue, or B, they just don't care enough about the characters who are starring in this movie. They don't care about Brie Larson, or they didn't watch the Miss Marvel TV show, so they don't know how awesome Miss Marvel is, so on and so forth. They saw the black girl in Scarlet Witch and said, "Well, she's an okay character, but I don't want to watch a movie about her." You know what I mean? I just feel like a lot of people are probably looking at this and saying, "I don't really care about these characters." Because that's initially what I said. I said I don't care about these characters enough to go watch a movie about it. So I don't know. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, I just think it's just the characters. I don't think it has anything to do with Marvel just failing. I just think it's the characters. And people don't care about it.
I honestly think it's the woman superhero trope that a lot of that people still think no one wants to watch a female superhero, and I just think that's false. I think that what's held this movie back was the hate people have for Brie Larson, and people were like, "Oh, her again? I'm not gonna watch that." And I honestly think that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I do have some bad news before we close out. Captain America: Brave New World looks like it might be getting pushed back, according to ScreenGeek.net, to February 14th, 2025.
Oh, motherfucker.
2025.
Bro, that is the one movie I've been dying to watch. Don't
Oh,
forget, man, you had the actor strike, and they might need to shoot pickups.
dude, literally, you're right. That this is one movie that we both been looking forward to. Like we were planning on going to watch this together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually says, according to discussion film on X, that it's reportedly getting extensive reshoots after negative test scores, which is pretty interesting. And I'm guessing some of those negative test scores are probably coming from the fact that things got screwed up with the writer's strike and stuff like that. But apparently, it's
No,
been
man,
getting.
I honestly think that, unfortunately, I feel like this Captain America movie is not gonna make as much as it should, because I think some very narrow-minded people are still complaining about the color of the new Captain America skin.
You think so?
Ah, dude, like, I hate to say it, man, but, like, you know, the this country has is not the same country it was, 8 years ago. And I think a lot of ugliness has raised its head, and I think a lot of people um are saying the thoughts out loud, and I think that that will affect. Because let me tell you something, he got a lot of pushback from wearing the suit. When in
Yeah,
the comic books, when he took over Captain America as a title, there's so many people pushing back against that, and I just really thought that was so stupid. Because if you follow comics, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. His sidekick, his partner did it. Like no one complained when Dick Grayson became Batman in the comics. People were like, oh my god, he became Batman. You know,
yeah,
no one complained about that, but um, so why should they complain about Falcon becoming Captain America if that was his partner?
yeah. It sucks. It sucks. I mean, yeah, man. I don't
And
know. I mean,
I hate to say it, but a good example of how we view the movie differently is when we reviewed it with what's her face. She didn't see what we saw,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
um, and she was like, "Eh," and we were like, "No, because of this and this and this. It's amazing." It's and I have a feeling that unfortunately, I swear to everything in the universe, I hope I'm wrong. But I have unfortunately feel like some very narrow-minded people are gonna win this one, and I really hope I'm wrong because Sam Wilson as Captain America is the Captain America I've been waiting for a very long time.
yeah. Same here. I think a lot of people, like you said, are going to just look at this and be like, "Well, that's not what I want in my Marvel movie. That's not my Marvel movie." You know, I don't want to hear about a black man and his problems. I don't want to hear about black man in America. I don't want to hear about minorities going through whatever they're going through. And like, I feel like this movie is probably going to touch some emotional notes, and
Yeah,
it sucks to hear that it's getting negative scores, and I'm wondering if, like you said, if some of those negative scores are coming from what we're talking about,
yeah.
because people viewing it now are probably like, we don't want that in our Marvel movies. But it just really sucks that we are like pushing this thing out to like over a year.
Yeah.
Over a year, we're not getting this. This is insane. And I'm wondering, because of this, how is this going to affect the rest of the MCU slate? Because I'm sure this is a big movie that's going to have some serious implications towards the Avengers movies. So
Yeah.
if that's getting pushed back, it makes me worry about how that's going to affect all the other movies.
If it was a thing of, the quality of actors, you know, where the old Captain America was 10 times better actor than the new Captain America, I could completely understand,
Yeah.
uh, but the actor who plays Captain America is a really good actor.
Yeah, he
I mean,
is.
hell, people forget he was an 8 Mile.
I forgot about that. Holy wow, I completely forgot about that. I really did. He was in 8 Mile. That's
He
insane.
was an
Who
8
would have
Mile.
thought? Who would have thought I would sit there watching this guy battle Eminem, and next thing you know, he's saving the universe. Would have never thought that.
I would
That's
love to
insane.
see Eminem in the MCU. Just give me
Oh
10 frames. I'll be happy.
goodness gracious. If you could put, Eminem in the MCU, what character would he be?
I just want him to play himself.
You
Be in a
wanna play
music
himself?
video. I don't care. Be at a rap show and you crash through a show. I don't care. Just
Oh,
give me
man.
10 seconds. Give me 3 seconds of Eminem. I think
Jeez,
that would be awesome.
that would be hilarious. Alright, so yeah, this we just literally just went on this big Marvel rant, but you know what? I feel like we haven't talked about, like, Marvel as a whole in a while, so it's good.
Yeah.
Um, so out of chocolate bunnies, out of 5 chocolate bunnies, 5 being the highest, and chat, you guys can vote as well, whoever's watching live or listen to the audio version. In the comment section, what would you guys, or you, Los, what would you rank the Marvels?
I would rank the Marvels a 4.5. Um,
Wow.
because it set out what it intended to do. Be a fun popcorn movie that you enjoyed, had a lot of action, had enough humor in it, Didn't get too serious, didn't get bogged down, didn't seem to have a lot of fat, introduced a certain amount of things into the MCU. I think it did exactly what it was meant to do, and that's why it's a 4.5.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Um,
And you?
I'm giving this a 3.5 chocolate bunnies.
Can I
Um,
ask why?
3.5 because when I watched the trailer, I thought I was just going to give it one or like a point 0.5 chocolate bunny score. I'm giving it a 3.5 because, like I said, it was fun. It was great. I do, even though I'm still not crazy about Captain Marvel, I do like the fact that they at least allowed Captain Marvel, to be a little more human in this one compared to being a bot in the other films that she was in. Um, Miss Marvel carried the torch in this film. I don't care what anybody says. If Miss Marvel wasn't in this movie, it would have gotten a point 0.5 or a one chocolate bunny for me.
I
She
100% agree.
she definitely carried it. She's amazing. I really hope to see her flourish in the MCU. I really do.
Yes.
Um, the villain was very for me. Wasn't
Yeah.
really too crazy about her. When she first came on screen, I was interested. I wanted to see what she was going to do. I was very intrigued by her when she first came on screen. But throughout the movie, it just became very like, all right, she just seems more like a henchman than a villain. She really didn't pose much of a threat to me. So there's that. Special effects here and there were a little weird. There was a scene where Samuel L. Jackson was holding one of the brains, which was the eggs for the cat, and you
Yeah.
can clearly tell it was CG. It was so bad. It was really really bad. So Marvel and their CG once again just not doing that great. But like I said before, they should take the Star Wars approach. Less is more. Don't put out so much content and just focus on being more grounded instead of having so many special effects. Um, so yeah, I mean,
That's what
it-
Echo was for.
I guess you're right, and that's yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just 3.5. It was fun, great popcorn flick. Part of me still think that it should have been a TV show. But it's not bad that it was a movie. It wasn't completely bad that it was a movie. It was fun.
I I didn't think it was formatted well enough to be a TV show, but I thought it was you got what you expected
Yeah,
and it came out really well. I'm very, very, very happy with the movie. I'm glad I watched it. It was absolutely worth it.
for sure, for sure. Um, what's the next Marvel movie that we're getting? I forgot. What's next? Do we even know what's next at this point? Um,
I'm surprised there's still content coming out.
yeah, yeah, me too, man. Me too. We're gonna check this out for you guys. We're gonna check out what is the next Marvel movie before we head out of here and give our thoughts on that real quick.
No,
Uh,
New World Order is supposed to be the next one.
wow, you're kidding me.
Now,
We're not getting another Marvel movie for like over a year until 2025?
hold on. I'm gonna look at the full release dates right now.
There's no way. Because we know of a lot of
Okay, the
shows.
Thunderbolts in July.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a show. That's a movie?
Uh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing that's coming out from Marvel is the TV shows. What if season two? Um, Secret Invasion already came out. Loki already came out. Ironheart is nowhere on the map. Echo's coming out in 2024. There's still Agatha Coven of Chaos. It was supposed to come out this year, but I guess it's coming out next year. And Daredevil Born Again, they're doing they're doing episodes over.
Yeah. Um I think Ironheart got scrapped because I don't even see it anywhere. I mean, I see Armor Wars is still up here, but
Yeah.
that's like
That
that
went
don't
from
even
a
have a
TV
date.
series to a movie.
Yeah, that doesn't even have a date. So that's probably like that's after the Avengers movie. So that's probably going to be leading into the next phase. They did push Avengers Secret War to 2026.
That's when I expected it. I didn't expect it any sooner.
Yeah. So apparently we're getting a Fantastic Four movie. I forgot about that. Blade.
I'm not that thrilled with that.
I don't think I'm looking forward to that, honestly. It's I guess because the other ones left a bad taste in our mouths, so it's
Oh
just
yeah,
I think that's just what it is, honestly. The others one
yeah,
the other ones were just so bad. I'm just like, we had like 20 so far, but I guess we'll see
yeah.
what they
And
can do
Fan
this
Four
time.
Stick was terrible.
Oh my goodness, yes, that was horrible, horrible. So, but yeah, it looks like 2024 into 2025 and six things are going to really start beefing up. I feel like the last 2 years were like, we had some good sprinkles. We had Guardians 3, Spider Man from the Spider Verse stuff. We had some sprinkles over the last 2 to 3 years, but I feel like next year, going from next year into 2026, we're gonna hopefully start ramping up with some content to lead us into the next Avengers
Yeah.
saga, basically.
The thing is, we went from finally being done with the dry spell that was COVID, and then we're gonna get the next dry spell that is the writers and actor strike.
Yeah, basically. So, but yeah, so yeah, it looks like you're right. It looks like the next Marvel movie that we're gonna get is supposed to be uh Captain America, which is not gonna be for like another year and a half now, year and some change. But I think that's
Yeah,
good. I mean, like I said before, I mean, let them take their time. Take your time, do your thing, put some love into this art. And we're supposed to be getting some TV shows. Like you said, we have I still see Ironheart up here, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're getting rid of it. We have Echo, we have Agatha, and then we have Daredevil and the
and
What
we
If
have What
series.
If and
Yeah,
What If.
in the What If series. So out of all of that, I'm looking forward to Daredevil. Honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, we ran a little long today, guys. But we definitely do appreciate you guys hanging in there with us, man. For sure, definitely
absolutely.
had a lot to talk about. Other than that, we're
I'm
gonna get
just
ready
glad
to
I
get
don't
out of
have
here.
to edit this show down.
Oh my goodness gracious, 2 hours. That's gonna be
You might
fun.
want to split it into two episodes,
Yeah, I might.
where the first one part is the
Actually,
trailers and the rest is just the Marvels.
yeah, I think I might actually do that. I think that might actually do that. Once again, guys, if you're watching live, watching the video version, if you're listening to the audio version, much appreciate you. Leave a comment, leave a review, thumbs up, like, share, all that great stuff. If you guys want to support us financially, we have our Patreon, which will be in the link below, as well as our merch. We have some sweaters on there, up there as well. So it's getting cold outside on the East Coast, so you guys can grab your JHouze Radio hoodie. Um, and yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Los, you
All
want to
right.
say anything before we get out of here?
Love, peace, and chicken grease. Don't eat too much turkey, and have fun watching the game on
Oh
Thanksgiving.
yeah,
That's pretty much it.
definitely. Happy early Thanksgiving to you guys, and we will catch you guys after we both stuff our faces.
Exactly.
Later.